FID. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. And in today's episode, we'll continue from yesterday. We'll look at the blue dot poll and the implication it's having on both political parties, and also looking at the the PNP press conference calling for GFF General Secretary not to accept the post at FID. All right, and looking at now the latest in the blue dot poll, and Jamaicans were asked to, let's say, no, Jamaicans were asked to give their views on the performance of both Jamaican leaders in the political parties, and how do they rate the voters, how they rate the leaders rather. All right, welcome to the program, and we did it yesterday, but unfortunately it was not aired as we'll check back the tape and saw that was that aired. All right, the blue dot poll, and let's say that they asked to rate the Jamaican leaders, Andrew Holness as Prime Minister and Mr. Mark Golding as opposition leader. 43% of Jamaicans say Mr. Holness is doing a good job. 35% say it's average, and 20% say it's poor. That 43% of Jamaicans say it's doing a good job. 35% say average, and the 22% say it's doing a very poor job. Well, and Mark Golding, on the other hand, his ratings doing a good job is only 27%, while 40% saying he's doing a very poor job. And look at the ratings now, and we look at the ratings in the parish for both leaders. It shows that over the years, the PNP are the leading in the polls, but while the JLP is sort of gaining momentum and closing the ground rapidly on the PNP to the point where marginally the JLP surged ahead of the PNP in that polls. And we look at the parishes, we look at the how Jamaican rate Mark Golding and Mr. Holness, their parishes. The JLP Mark Golding, in that the JLP Andrew Holness rather is leading in 11 parishes, while Mark Golding leading in only 2. In the Portland, they gave Andrew Holness a plus 18 ratings, and in St. Catherine, and give Mark Golding a plus 6. In St. Catherine, they rate Mark Golding a plus 6, a plus 10, and no, plus 20 rather, and the PNP is and the JLP is Andrew Holness are plus 10. In Clarendon, they rate Andrew Holness a positive 35, while Mark Golding is at negative 13. In the parish of Honover, where the PNP's constituency office is in this disarray, they gave the JLP, Mr. Andrew Holness, a positive 31, while Mark Golding is at negative 13. Over in Hanover, they gave the Prime Minister a positive 31, and I gave Mark Golding a negative 13. In Kingston and St. Andrew, they gave the JLP a positive 20, and the JLP a negative 3. Manchester, they gave the Prime Minister a positive 10 and gave the PNP a negative 12. These are by parties. Now, these are the blue dot poll. These are not my figures, blue dot poll. Not my opinion. In St. Anne, they gave the Prime Minister a positive 22 Mr. Mark Golding a -6. Over in St. Elizabeth, they gave Prime Minister a +25 and Mr. Mark Golding a -19. In St. James, they gave the Prime Minister a +30 and gave Mark Golding a -4. Negative and positive means that they when they doing good is better than they doing bad. It's a positive. When your rating is bad, higher than the good, you get negative. All right. So Saint Mary, they gave the Prime Minister -3 and gave Mark Golding a +8. Saint Thomas, they gave Mark Golding a -20 and the Prime Minister a +30. In Westmoreland, surprisingly, was it's a PNP parish, and they gave Mark Golding a -19 in that parish, and gave Andrew Hollis a +26. And so these are the ratings again, by the Blue Dot poll, and it is conducted and it is aired published on Poll 106, as you all know by now. And please don't tell me that Mark Golding that 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 clip is Labourite. I won't buy that, because in the 2023 Private Council election, when Mr. Cliff Hughes prematurely and incorrectly said the PNP won the election, it was the best thing since like for all the comrades. It was the best journalist for all the comrades. But now we're saying what the comrades don't want to hear. They say my call him Labourite, so I won't buy that argument. So please don't come with that argument about Cliff Hughes and Labourite. I don't know Cliff Hughes' political allegiance, so I won't get into that. But the Blue Dot poll is aired on Cliff Hughes station. All right, and again, the ratings for the Prime Minister, and they were asked the question to rate the Prime Minister 9 years as in at the helm, and rate Mr. Mark Golding 5 years as opposition leader. 22% says Andrew Hollis doing a very poor job. At 22%. 35% saying average, and 43% said he's doing a very good job. When it comes to Mark Golding as opposition leader, 32% say he's doing a very poor job. At 32% say a very poor job. 41 says average, and 23% says he's doing a good job. So based on these figures by the Blue Dot poll, Andrew Holness is really ahead of Mark Golding in the poll. But for those who this does not mean that come election day, Andrew Holness it is term is secure. It don't mean that. What it means is that the person who were on the fence, so to speak, or were undecided, are now leaning towards the JLP. It does not mean that they'll vote JLP on election day. That's a different argument. That what it means is that the momentum is growing among the uncommitted, those on the fence, and they're kind of swaying them towards the JLP side. And again, it does not mean that they'll vote JLP come election day, because 43% does not mean a secure victory. What it means is that if the next poll was to come out and the Prime Minister's rating moved from 43 to between 55 and 60, the lowest, you know that you can say the third term look more likely. But at 43% below 50 is not a guarantee that we're saying JLP now will vote JLP come election day. But Mark Golding, on the other hand, need to do some work. At 20% no, he needs to start doing some work. So PNP and Mark Golding need to do some work right now if they want to be in Jamaica House come after election day. Need to do some work. Andrew is ahead, but don't guarantee that he'll be victorious at the polls. But he's ahead right now. And he's sure that Matt Golden need to do some work. With a 41% saying it's average and 32% is a poor job against Andrew with 22%. And average job 41 for Andrew for Matt Golden. And for the good is 24%. While for the PNP, for the JLP rather, Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister, 43% of Jamaicans saying doing a good job, 35% saying average, and 20% saying poor. So, and again, it does not mean that his third term is guaranteed. But as you're saying, they're doing a good job. All right. Another issue now is now brewing now over there in Jamaica, where the PNP called a press conference. Yes, I call a press as they oppose Dennis Chung appointment to the chief financial officer of FID. I want to take a quick look at the PNP press conference, and you're going to hear exactly why they oppose such an appointment.
You should refuse this appointment. This investigation into the Prime Minister, the allegation of illicit enrichment, is indeed the most consequential matter which has happened to us since independence. Never before in the history of Jamaica have we had a Prime Minister under investigation for corruption. And today I simply want to say this. Where are the honorable men and women in our country? Where are those men and women on whom this country has conferred national honors? Where are the professionals? Where's the private sector? Where are the church leaders? Because this will appear to you as though it is a narrow partisan political matter. It is not. It is about reaching for the very soul of our democracy. It is about the protection of our democratic institutions. Because when you corrupt an institution such as this, which as Julian and Peter have made clear, have an international reputation, when you do that, you're failing the nation and you are setting the tone for actions which undermine the institutions which must uphold our traditions and which must reflect who we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, a few years ago, this issue surrounding the reports on the Integrity Commission came to public attention. And initially, we were told that persons are unaware of the individuals who are under investigation. At a press conference that was held at Jamaica House, when a journalist put the question to the Prime Minister as to whether or not he is aware as to why he has not been certified, he said he had no idea why, and he was anxious to be certified. When we eventually saw the report of the investigation into his affairs, we realized that at the time when he made that statement, it was not true, because prior to that, he was written to, and that they had a meeting with him at OPM and his lawyers, and explained to him that there is a possibility that he has assets that are out of keeping with his lawful income, what we term illicit enrichment. We saw where the Prime Minister took the matter to court, and he was asking for he was trying to mandate the courts to sign on his report. We saw where Mr. Chung came out and gave his opinion on the matter. It's free to have an opinion on the matter, but by any means, by the acceptable standard as to what the average person would think. An individual that has already come to a conclusion on the matter to be now placed in charge of the body to investigate the matter is highly inappropriate. And anyone who cannot see that as inappropriate, then that begs a lot of questions. The gentleman in question also created a firestorm in Jamaica a few months ago when he said that USAID board money did not get to SSL. And it is the same FID that needs to look into the issues surrounding SSL. I, as a Jamaican and a well-thinking Jamaican, I am very concerned about the path that we are on as a country. I am a proud Jamaican, but I am ashamed of my government. I am ashamed of this JLP government because they are eroding what we have come to accept as Jamaica. They are destroying the institutions that give us a good, credible reputation internationally. Corruption is rampant. It is almost palpable in the society, and we will not accept it. The time has come. Enough is enough. The people of Jamaica need to be given an opportunity to decide if they want to continue with this level of corruption in high places, or if they want to return decency to Jamaica House. And as
You heard there that was part of the BNPP press conference, and they're opposing the appointment of Dennis Chung, you know by now, and the GLP has hit back. We'll hear more on that very short. Welcome to Annette Allen. Welcome back up better order at the moment. So you heard there from Mr. Chung. All right, and he's saying that the PNP should call, Jones should call the election right now. But let us give you a quick look back at elections in Jamaica and the results from 1944 up until 2020. The first elections were held in Jamaica 1944 under adult suffrage. In that elections, the JLP won 22 seats, the PNP won 10, and the turnout was 58%. Yes, 58% turnout when the JLP won the first election in 1944 under adult suffrage. And the chief minister then was Bustamante. 1949. All right, 19, the call number to call. All right, you want to call? You call 413-306-0075. All right, the call-in number for those who want to call in is 413-413-316-0075. Again, 413, call WhatsApp, 413-316-0075. Call-in number. All right. All right, Danny. All right, and therefore, all right, and 1955, the PNP won for the first time, and normally became premier. They won 1812 over the JLP. In 1962, we got independence. The JLP won 26-19, and Bustamante at that time became Jamaica's first prime minister. And the turnout at that time was 73% turnout at that time. 1967, JLP retained power 30-20 at that time. 1972, we saw the advent of Michael Manley, and the PNP beat the JLP at that time 37-16, and the turnout was 79% turnout at that time. Keep a close eye on the percentage. All right. And in 1976, Michael Manley beat Sierra, and it was 47-13. You see, I'm low, so I can adjust the audio. It was 47-13 at the time. 47-13. I see the audio up. All right, 40 open better now. Adjusting the audio. Open better now. 47-13. Tell me if the audio is better. I just adjust the audio a while ago. 40. So it's 47-13 when they won that elections there. Very low. Wow, I don't know what's happening here. Just adjust the audio a while ago. All right, so you can just adjust the audio again. All right, so you can adjust the audio, the brightness. All right, the audio. All right, adjust the audio. Tell if I'm better. Tell if I'm better now. All right, thank you. Right, adjust the audio. Okay, thanks, there, Aneta and Alan. We're on the elections, the elections right now, and 1976, we saw where Michael Manley beat Edward Sierra a landslide, 47-13, and the turnout was 80. The turnout was 85%. And in 1980 was a landmark year for the GLP when Edward Sierra turntables at Michael Manley 51-9, and at that time it was the largest victory, margin of victory by a party, and the first time in Jamaica's history the losing party didn't get double figure. Michael Manley won 9 seats that time and Sierra won 51, and the turnout was 87%. And the note is the first time in Jamaican history one political party got over 500,000 votes. 1980, Sierra, he got over 500,000 votes. The only time in Jamaican history that one political party got over 500,000 votes was JLP 1980 under Edward Sierra. 1983, you all know that the PNP boycotted that elections because Michael Manley said Sierra was calling the elections a 1980 voters list, and that means the PNP have no chance of winning. So it was a boycott by Michael Manley, and Sierra and the GLP won every seat because there was no PNP. 60 seats they won. 83, the turnout was 55% turnout. 1989, Michael Manley turned the tables on Edward Sierra. 52-8. And to date, that's the biggest landslide in Jamaica's history. Michael Manley beat Edward Sierra 52-8. The turnout was 78% that time. 1993 now, we saw PJ Patterson beat Sierra again 45-15. The turnout was 67%. 1997, PJ Patterson again beat Sierra 50-10. A landslide feature again by PJ. The turnout was 65% turnout. And in 2002, the JLP closed the gap, but PNP won 34-26 in 2002. 2007, Bruce Golding. We saw the JLP won 33-27. The turnout was 61%. And in 2011, we saw the PNP winning 42-21. It seems similar. And then in 2016, at that time when Portia win, it was 53%. The lowest turnout at that time. And I think we have a caller. Let's see now. You're live?
Yes.
You're live on air.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yes.
Welcome to the program.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yes.
Did you hear Mark Golding in the press conference yesterday, right?
Yes.
And every platform that he went, you would have heard him say there is no place in his party, and if he should form government, there would be no place in his government for corruption. Right?
See that over and over, yes.
Right. And that's a stand that he keeps. He kept preaching over and over and over again about zero tolerance to corruption.
Right. Yeah, that's true, yes.
All right. Did you hear the news about the bleaching cream raid?
Yes. It was found at the PNP office in Central Kingston.
Right. Steve McGregor's office.
Right, yes.
And did you hear the news when they said Mr. McGregor was there?
Yes.
Have you heard that sound from Mark Golding?
No.
Did you remember the time when Dennis Meadows was on this platform and when he spoke about scamming?
Yes.
And
He was asked to resign.
Immediately. And Mark Golding, magic word was, he does not tolerate corruption or no hanky-panky.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if Mark Golding, because listen to me, I am an undecided voter.
All right.
I've never voted.
So you're on the fence.
I'm on the fence.
You're on the fence, all right.
And I am on the fence, and I am because remember now, the Prime Minister would have going into his third term.
Right.
And I am 55 years old. I've been there, done it. I have lived through both.
Both PNP and GLP.
Yes. And it's not like there wasn't. Me always tell myself, me not see when me a vote for some. This what happened me just now. Because you see, my mother was a strong supporter of the PNP. My father would have more leaned to the Labour Party. You know, man or the vote, it would be most by like mother.
Yes.
So I would say I am from a PNP background. The noise, distracting you or it's okay?
No man, you can't go somewhere quiet. You better have it quiet. Quieter the better.
All right, let me say. Yes. So I would say I am more from a PNP background.
Yes.
Because my mother, you'd have followed in your mother's footsteps.
Yes.
And let me tell you something, Mr. Thompson. Is the worst I have ever seen as a peer opposition leader is Mark Golding.
Wow.
I don't really understand because I have never seen the PNP in this type of condition. I have never seen this. I have never seen a general secretary acting like Mr. Dayton Campbell, acting like, them rogue investor, them uncontrollable child with no boundary. That is how Mark Golding, Dayton Campbell, Peter Bunting, Ian Ailes, that is how they are operating. Believe me, I have never seen this. Let me tell you, it shocked me to the core. It shocks me to the core.
People are saying that the PNP has lost its way to Rise United. That's a big talk now.
Look here. The PNP has lost so bad. I remember when Peter Phillips was in there. And Peter Phillips, would have started and Andrews. And let me tell you, if I should go out and vote this election, I would have voted for Andrew, the JLPU. Reason being, his humbleness, his statesmanship, and very regular business that we may not take lightly. And I noticed this Prime Minister, he has never. They take him to the task, they carry on all. Listen to me, I have never seen your own black brothers and sisters tear you as only see they tear down this man. And they not only rip him, they rip his family. Sometimes me sit as a married woman, I think so much, me as I can just imagine what the wife is going through.
Well,
because
it's about politics.
The Risers United had no boundary.
Mm-hmm.
They have no boundary. And not only the so-called leader, because there's no leadership quality in Mark Golding. None at all. So the so-called leader would have set the trend, and then he get up with the Oxford patois. I go at about I man this and blah blah. Yeah man, man sounds so damn insipid and annoying. Forgive me. Whenever time you hear him, it's like the man just sick in the stomach.
Wow. Well, the
It has never been like this.
Well,
Never seen it. I've never seen my PNP party that I grew up with, either in opposition or government. I have never seen it in this state. Them say all you want to say about Portia. Say all you want to say about Mama P. I've never seen Portia go down in the gutter when we see them man's kettle I go down in there.
Wow.
I've never seen it. And it sick me to the core because, you know, my daughter is 20 years old, my last child. She works in the courts. My daughter have always leaned to the PNP. I don't know, and I never question because guess what happened? She's 20.
Right. Yeah. She make her own decision.
I have never asked one of my child, none of my children, how they intend to vote, if they so be.
Right.
And my daughter look at me whenever my daughter said, God have grace, mommy, my stomach sick. This is the best they can find for the PNP party.
Wow.
This is the best. This is the best they can give us.
And it's coming from a potential voter. You know, that is serious.
Yes. And I'm talking about my child just left university. And she remember now, you know, she would have lived through the JLP.
Right.
She's coming from a PNP background. As me tell her, my mother, so is her grandmother, and you know that whatever, they always lean. But I stay away from politics. Mm-hmm. But believe me, I am so sick. And you know what? Worse, trigger me, is when I heard they're giving the government 72 hours
to make
yes.
For Mr. Dennis Young to
yes.
rescind the appointment. I don't accept the appointment or else.
Or else. Come on now, Mr. Come on now, Doddy. Is this real? What are you trying to say?
It was appointed by the JLP.
Thank you very much. Because guess what? I have me no know of when I name the White Commission, me never know since when they becomes.
It was appointed by a group, and I think Mark Golden also approved the persons who on that committee that appointed him.
Both Labour Right and PNP
approved the committee that appointed him.
Approved the committee. But what I found out about Mark Golden, if there is not somebody there that can be their mole, they don't want that person.
Wow.
Then in every organization they need a mole, and as somebody tell us that.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody let we know plain that they form this thing where them call committee, but it's not really committee. It's to make sure that PNP people stack up in them.
Well, as I said that publicly. I had a clip. Yeah, she said that publicly.
Right?
She said that publicly.
She never hid. She wasn't hiding. She said it. She said it. Right?
I remember.
And when I look and see what is taking place in the office of the Integrity Commission, it is, let me tell you, I have never seen this in all my life. And I have never heard the Prime Minister come out one day and say, look here, you know this or that, him take and him bear everything. How could I not respect a man like that?
Well, he said,
I have never voted, and believe me, my supper come out the man and go vote.
He said it's not about to disrespect people on the campaign trail. His campaign is about what the achievements have been done for the past 9 years, including crime rate coming down, low unemployment
and guess what happened?
Right.
That is why. And that is why I just respect this man. This man I've never, not even his worst opponent, I have never heard him in any way, shape, or form trying to be disrespectful. And that's what we need in Jamaica.
We don't need people back in the it's run a clean. It's not going to the gutter. It's run a clean campaign.
We don't want to go back there. And then when me look and when me, you know what me tremble again is the amount of gun and bullets coming in.
Yes, 220.
I don't know what simple man are carrying them there. I don't know poor man. I don't know poor man. It is well organized crime. Well organized.
Wow.
Coming in for the election. Because you have a set of people who strongly believe in Scotch the hurt. If they can't win it fair, them might take it by force.
Wow. That is, and we don't want to go back to 1980.
We
We
don't
don't
want
want
to
to
go back.
go back to the 1980 at all.
If you want to beat me fair and square. You don't have to try to tear me down. You don't
We
have
don't
to
go back
try
to
to
1980.
no. We have get past those places already. It wasn't pretty. We need leaders. When you consider it leaders that set the tone, set the peace. We don't need leaders here to tell the supporters them so that if you step up, get busy and get wicked on their opponent.
Yeah,
We don't need one
we
type
don't,
of
no,
behavior.
we don't need that. We need a peaceful election. Fair and peaceful.
Yeah.
We don't want to go back to
Right.
1980.
I remember Peter Phillips were there calling for election. And when him get the election, God Almighty, I never see PNP balsa yet. They wept bitterly.
It was so beat one.
They wept bitterly.
49-14.
Right? And remember, Peter Phillips lived on the Prime Minister house every chance. I remember one time Peter Phillips said something where I was so shocked. When Peter Phillips said, when I go either go a prisoner or I go dead. I'm take a stock Winston Green dead.
Wow, so sad. Well, that's what I missed about PNP to sing on the man. And I kept on saying, when I heard that, I said, if the Prime Minister is building a house with his own money, that is his personal business. If it's taxpayer money, it's public business.
Thank you very much. And this is the same thing. That's why I dislike them. Because, I keep saying this from the other day. Where in the Integrity Commission report it says the Prime Minister thief taxpayers' money.
It don't say that. All them say that he have some, like I say, he have some money in his account, and they say it kind of exceed his lawful earnings. I need to explain it.
All right. So
And
then,
they know,
if you
and they don't heard that, and the commission make some miscalculation. So there's a possibility that he might certify.
But here this not joking. You left all the way and you take 31 million of taxpayers' money and you left go foreign, go get foreign auditor and you come and have them in the country 6 months probing the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
6 months in the country probing a man that never even have the least idea. Say foreigners were in here probing him left, right, and center. Every cent he give to your wife. Look here, those are downright wickedness.
Wow.
And then when you come up, after you bypass the FID and tax office which both have to report to the Prime Minister. So you were trying not to have nothing to make the Prime Minister have a glimpse in the dawn as such investigation by you. So you bypass all of them and you let you win and you go spend 31 million of taxpayers' money and you think it is fit for you hide the report. We need to see the report. It's ours money.
That's true. Need to come public.
Show us the report. The time when you did there send 170 pages of nonsense. Gone in the man, mother and father, friend him and pick him know about account and you gonna rip up on one whole set of nonsense. All because you were trying to set the narrative because PNP must win because they go on every platform. It wasn't hidden. Mr. Dudley, you will hear them everywhere. They talk the election I go call. And when this a scandal bust and you hear them and name them something that make me puzzle. Because them a name out and a call out everybody under investigation. And the Integrity Commission think they were so smart. That's them called Dwayne Vaz name and which other PNP again? Michael Phillips answer. They never send in their declaration on time.
Yeah.
So then charge them for late payment. I wouldn't think they can trick and fool.
And then pay must
Who
quarter
wouldn't
million.
think they can trick and fool? We're not stupid.
I heard Confused said earlier that the PNP is not doing the hard political work.
No, because they sit there depending solely and guess what happened?
They're hoping that the commission
One of
will find anyone is guilty of some
and guess
funds,
what happened now?
and the scandal will send them into Jamaica House.
Yeah. Yes. They are going to go in and into Jamaica House and technicality.
Yeah,
right?
they're
They
not,
all
they're not,
climb
they're
in
not
a
doing.
Jamaican house for technicality. But
All
guess
right.
what happened?
Mm.
All they are there doing is trying to tear down. And Jamaica people don't really like that. Tell me
No.
what you're going to do if you become the government of this country. Tell me the plans. What are you going to do
Well, the
for
PNP,
us? What are you going to do
the PNP said,
differently from what the government is doing now?
well, the PNP said JP is a idea and plan thief, so they want make them plan come public. But
I
heard they are doing
keep it because what happened? The first thing that Mr. Mark Golden do is go in a budget presentation with no budget, and when they right with a manifesto, when they call you out, they say yes.
The 5-year manifesto.
Yes.
So apparently the same thing next year then. This is a 5-year plan, so do the same thing next year. Next budget.
Thank you very much. but you know what? You know what? When I sit and I look, and I am saying to myself, all right, let's say the PNP win this election now. I want to name out the ministers them. I could have never, there's no way Angela Brownberg could have stand up say she is Jamaica foreign minister.
She be Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Jesus Christ, what a disaster.
And then you have
what?
Damien Crawford, Minister of Education.
Him could have never, no,
Dayton
look here.
Campbell, Minister of Agriculture.
Lord!
Dr.
Dayton Campbell.
No, Dr. Dawes will be Minister of Health.
No, guess what? When he would have started, Mr. Him would have created a scene there. You know what? I am saying the people them that Dr. Dawes do them surgery, cut out them fat and put place here. So they gotta be careful. He soon tell life on them. The man is so mischievous and just the man remind me of some soap food where when you have try better it just a get to like a sugar soap food. You just come out with your nonsense and your foolishness, and you know what burn me look at Mr. Dr. Jazz taking you way gone up at JLP headquarters. You're a big man.
Yeah,
a problem you think we don't need that.
If you have a concern, come with your facts and present your case in a decent manner. Come with your facts and the evidence. Present your case.
When you step out there, when you step out there and you make an allegation, have your facts to back them up.
Right, and your proof. You
can't get up on a laba. And you know what? You know what? I sit down and I view it and I look into it and I say, guess what happened? The PNP is in a spot of bother where the government has been performing so well. Every one of them talking points, the government shut them down. Right. Now they are desperately in need of searching for scandal. And every search they search and I try and dash stick pan I try fling stick pan wall, not nasty.
Because crime is coming down. Crime is down by 40%. Poverty is down 50%. People don't cost for water again like one time. And people are getting housing. People are employed. So I don't know.
But I sit yesterday, and I find myself before the press conference. And I listen from top to bottom and I say, what is this? What is this? Mark Golden come, no sense. Nothing at all with substance. Peter Bunting come a grunt. Nothing with substance. Look, Peter Bunting don't turn up and say a man like Kevin O'Brien Chang don't fit for his position. Where Kevin O'Brien Chang work in a PNP and Labour, that the man they speak, chat as an analyst. When he speak the truth and they vex because he did fit jump and say, yes, man,
It's Dennis Chong, the one from JFF. The one from JFF.
Yeah. Yes, Dennis Chong. Oh, when I say O'Brien Chang?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Chong. Because guess what happened now? The rubbish that the Integrity Commission must investigate and put out. Dennis Chong must go with him and join with him bag of foolishness. And join and say, yes, man, see it here. Pure garbage and rubbish. 170 pages of garbage and rubbish.
That job is not for any politics. It's for the truth, not for be any party favors. Bring out the truth and bring out the truth in the matter. Don't say it because for a party's sake.
Yes. No, you're going to see the truth. You're going to speak your mind. And that's why more time, My friends, let me come around me and say, Annette, you're not afraid and kill because you just stand up and you just speak your truth. And you don't, and move on. I don't care. Me just I go speak my mind because that's the only way I feel free.
No, it's just true. Well, I heard
You understand that?
I heard the PNP saying if a plan for young people with the housing. But when they examine the plan fell short. It broke for the short. They said they're gonna youth under 35 years of age and put aside $1 billion per year for youth who are energy compliant for grant to housing. But
you decide now. Here this part. If you notice, nobody buying into it. No young people buying into it.
Because if you divide the 500,000 by 1 billion and you get 2,000. And Jamaica have 508. Jamaica have 686,000 youths or between 18 and 35. And that will benefit 2,000 youths per year. Over more than 500,000. So that is no. And the plan will come with the rent to home thing. That's not a new plan either. But here, when you check it out, a 2,000, it would have benefited 2 person, and 2,000 person, and the 2,000 person would have been 2,000 from their own party because that's how PNP work. You remember Operation Pride? Yes.
I get to joke. Me pay me money, and until this day, me have me receipt. How much years now with them tell with that supply and tell me until this day, not even young, my money gone. I mean, Operation Pride. It become Operation Shame. And you know what I really noticed about the PNP, they are so barefaced. Them barefaced and bold and them bright. I remember this when the Integrity Commission chairman push Ronnie Florence in the position, and there was this JLP come out and were saying like whatever, and the PNP them said, well, no, nothing wrong with that, not because the guy know Dayton Campbell and whatever, and there's nothing, and all the JLP were saying they are concerned because Kamika, them push out Kamika Prince. There was this investigator that were on the case with the Prime Minister where she left the work. She resigned and left the work because she said, what them are going with down there? Nice. So them have to come with evidence. Mm-hmm. Them have to come with proof. And they're right back again. And you know what she do instead? The Jamaican people, a lot of us were concerned. We were concerned and said when Mr. Kevin, the embattled Kevin Stevenson contract up, we don't want him back there because we taxpayer pay them. And you know what? The chairperson do? She don't even look at us. She look down on us in scan and reappoint him, showing us that guess what happened? We no can't chat, we no want chat.
Wow.
That I feel no business. Me reappoint him. Right?
Wow, it's serious.
And when I look and I see there's no integrity in that office, none at all. We see one of them, Ryan Evans, come in with briefcase of money and gunman take you, rob him and take you away from him, and he not even they go report it. And when they call, when the media asks Christy said if he asks the government.
I remember that long time case. Wow,
right?
It's serious.
And when him say ask the government, that was the time where the Jamaican people, there's certain amount of money where you're supposed to carry for your purse. And you hear says every month, them they walk out of the Integrity Commission and go collect how much money from money place and carrying. For what? Why?
Wow.
Who was sending the money there for what? Are you talking about integrity and corruption? Who investigate who no? Who no do no statutory declaration? Who no think who no be? Who they think they are? We need to read enough to them something to find out where them get for them money from too. They are not above the law.
No, it's serious. It is serious. It's so serious.
They are not above the law, and you sit and talking about man with integrity. Not one of them they have no integrity. None of them. You can't get up and you sit down there and you banga up the prime minister something. And you tell me, say, none of them never see Pantan we say him a passing. Sit down, coming up in a meeting and all talk about saying that in carrying one water because look here. I see them people that sit down and go with something. They just upset the Jamaican people and take with the school.
Wow. Is that a lot to digest? Is that a lot to digest?
Yes, I have it on me. Look here, and I have it on my chest. Because me, I say, what is really happening? The PNP, well, they are not the PNP, they are the risers. Mm-hmm. Because what they did is hijacked the PNP. Right?
That's a common concept out there, you know, that PNP was hijacked by the risers.
They hijacked the risers hijacked the PNP. It was all in WhatsApp group of them plan, and they assassinate Peter Phillips, capture the party, and run the party like it's DB and G. Bang.
Wow, it's a lot here. All right, and well, thank you for your call there. And so we can talk some other time.
Yes, man, no problem. Thank you.
You see a lot to digest.
Yes, and then thanks for listening.
Yes, man, you're welcome.
All right.
All right, here there from a call and there, right? And it Alan there. Wow, a lot to digest there. All right, we're still taking your telephone calls. You can call us here at it's 413-316-0075 WhatsApp. Done the Tom's live here, talking that little politics here. And all right, on the other hand, the government has announced that the government announced earlier in the budget debate, remember, announced by Andrew Holness, that he will be reducing electricity, the GCT on electricity, by about 15%, by 7%, yes. And Philip Powell is saying that is a trick. Yeah, but Philip Powell is saying that that is a trick, according to Philip Powell, because he said if the government was to return to power, they would actually put on back the GCT back on the JPS bill. Yes, Philip Powell is saying it's a trick. Philip Powell.
The issue of GCT on electricity is really a three-card trick, because those persons who were using electricity up to 150 kilowatt hours, they weren't paying GCT. We had removed GCT from their payment. Today, it is now applicable. And while the government has given a temporary reprieve, we believe that it's just because of the elections. Right after the elections, if they were to win, then GCT is back on for the majority of poor people. When we win, we'll ensure that no GCT is applicable to those persons who use below 150 kilowatt hours.
You already found that Philip Powell there, the PNP and energy spokesman, saying the GCT reduction by the JLP is a three-card trick, and it's an election ploy. And as soon as the JLP, if they return to power, it will go on back, according to Philip Powell. Well, all right. Right now there is Craig Oats, you know, a PNP member, now turned JLP, and he's saying that the poor youthful exuberance, Paul will. All right. Craig Oats is saying that this is election year, and the PNP office in Honover is in disrepair, and crime in Honover is down by 76%. Craig Oats. Here's Craig Oats.
And his team in Honover. Okay. As I live. And he's somebody I know personally. We can't come together. But the crime strategy of the government really is working. A new police station was created, high-tech police station in Hopewell. that's in the eastern side of Honover. After many years of promises, the wholeness-led administration delivered on it, fully computerized with some really high-tech police officers. Plus, the police is more visible and they're more information-driven. You can see them, on the streets, but you can also feel them going out there one.
Yes.
You don't really see them going most of the time and drag youths and bring them down and jail and them something. They're more targeted and them getting it right. But the thing is, even with the best of intentions, if they were not getting the tools to work, the vehicles, the guns, ammunition, the uniform, surveillance equipment, whatever, some of the things that the eye don't see. And we have to thank and plus, I've heard police officers pick up the government that they are getting, not everybody would want more pay, but something that they can live with, and that is motivational to them. And lastly, the police have a community outreach program in Honover. But I think for the user that was right across Jamaica, 76% is with what is happening in today's society. And you find out that even some of the other murders that do happen, they are really across parish lines. Like people come from across the parish probably commit the murder and dump them in a Hanover. Because there's some bush in Hanover. Yes. So again, every police officer, law-abiding, citizens who cooperate with police in Hanover should be commended.
That was Craig Oats there, former PNP member, now switch allegiance to JLP, and he's saying crime in Hanover is down by 76%. And he's saying that it's an election year, and the PNP office there is in disrepair. Craig Oats.
Is the PNP constituency office. I believe you need to go down there. Underneath here, Duncan, the PNP constituency office was the pride and joy of the region. Computer, 2 secretary, I know because I used to be there. Region 6 was being run out of the office movement. You know what I'm doing right now? A lot of roach in there. Yes, I'm no water, no light. One big sitting garbage right in front of it. Up until this morning, not even the candidates' photo was on the building. There's a poster there with the candidate, but on the building, how are you going to go into an election? People cannot come to your office to see you, to speak to you in private. And this is what people have been saying down here. If you are not in your office, tell me something. How is it that people are, if you're not there before an election, how is it that people are going to relate and connect to you after you've won? Are you going to garden house? Are you with them big brother? Are you a chauffeur trip and something? I mean, people are not stupid and people deserve better.
Wow. So the PNP need to do some work in Hanover because the office down there is overrun by rats and roach. Yeah, man, I call him Craig Oats. He's down there, he's on the ground. And he said, an election year and the PNP office there is actually non-existent. And this is an election year as you head to election year. All right. So, wow. And again, we say the PNP need to do some more work when they come on to doing on the ground. And hopefully, we can see the PNP can have some better figures in the poll. Because I told you earlier, right now, the JLP is leading. But it does not mean that the JLP is sure for a third term. What it means, as I heard there from our call earlier, you heard there from Annette Allen, people on the ground were undecided and were leaning to the JLP. And it does not necessarily mean that they'll vote JLP come election day. But the tendency is thinking about more the JLP side than the PNP side. So right now, the PNP is in a spot of bother. And the PNP need to do some political work and stop depending on some scandal to sweep Andrew out of office and put you into Garden House. So if Andrew Holness don't get entrapped in a scandal, the PNP can't go to Garden House. That makes no sense. PNP need to do some strong political work. Do them now, but what about the PNP machinery over the years? What, the old car broke down? The machinery on the Michael Manley and Porsche, what happened to that old machinery? It want grease? No, man. PNP need to start do some work now. Because if you continue just try to harp on scandal, that cannot work. People want to hear what your plans for us. Right now, you have to outdo Andrew right now, PNP. Right now, Andrew Holness, crime is down, unemployment, lowest in history. Jamaica now can fix road without borrow money from overseas, and the poverty cut in half. So the PNP need to do something to kind of outdo Andrew and stop waiting and stop hope for some big scandal. Cannot wait for some scandal. You have on the $30 million drill. And I mean, it was, and for 2 years now you're talking about Andrew Holness deduction cannot be certified. 2 years, and for 2 years. And what result? You're stepping in the polls. That means the Jamaican people don't want to hear Andrew scandal. They want to hear what is your plan for us if you form government. That's what the people want to hear. What is your plans for us if you form government? You want us to put you in? What is the plan? And you're there for 9 years. And it's not perfect. 9 years of up and down, and we saw some of the results going on now. People are now seeing in Jamaica crime reduction. They are seeing people are, what it is, you say the money maga, but better than zero. People are employed, 3.4%, the lowest in Jamaica's history. Poverty reducing, cut in half. Can you outdo that? Remember some years ago when Bruce Golding, their plans are time come and pay and pay. This thing about time come. I mean, people are here time come. What time come mean? Time come. People are here some solid plan. I remember some years ago when it was Porsche and Bruce Golding going to election, and Porsche come with a big announcement that grabbed the entire nation. Big announcement. Free healthcare for elderly. And wow, it grabbed everybody's attention. Wow. What Bruce did. He outdid Porsche by announcing free healthcare for everybody and win the election. Yes. So people now have tried to outdo Andrew and stop depending on scandal. It's not working. Why not working? You're stepping in the polls. It's not working. You harp on this thing about reduction for 2 years. It's not working. People want to hear your plans for the country if elected. That's what people want to hear. Not about Andrew's tax reduction cannot be certified. People they're there for 2 years now. 2 years. 2 years after 2 years. I mean, and not working. So PNP, tell the country your plan. Real plan. That make a plan as you go along on the platform. Like this thing you talk about you call it now, rent to own. It's not anything new. The housing trust have that plan for years. Has been going on now in the constituency of Dr. Andrew Burke and the scheme at 2 miles. You're a person there, they got units in 2 miles. And those based on your salary, and if you're not employed, you get a lease payment or a mortgage. It's going on right now in 2 miles. And I think it's Calvin Palms and those schemes along 2 miles along Spanish Town Road. It's going on now. We're a person in those schemes, some are on mortgage and some are on lease. The persons who are currently unemployed or in low income jobs and can't pay a mortgage, they go on the lease. And if their financial status improve, they can go to mortgage and eventually own the unit. So when Mark Gold announces rent to own, it's not a new thing. It's not anything new. It's going on in your own member constituency, Dr. Burke constituency. Ask her about it. Not anything new. Not a PNP plan. You're going on from NHT, not a JLP plan either. It's an NHT plan. So when I know this rent to own, that's not a PNP, that's not anything new. Margold, not anything new. So people need to read PNP plans. Don't take something that's already happening and say it's a PNP plan. Not going to work. You want to hear a real PNP plan. Get back to the days of Michael Manley and put things similar. Real PNP plan. So PNP need to do some work. PNP start doing the hard political work and stop depending on scandal to shortcut your way into Jamaica House. Do the political work. All right. I think on that note now, we're coming to the end of today's broadcast. Thanks for your company. Thanks for being a part of the show. Join us again on maybe on Monday or Tuesday. We go live again. So I'm Dudley Thompson. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Tell a friend about it. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And have yourself a wonderful day and peace. Hope Jamaica will have an election that is fair and peaceful. Have for yourselves a wonderful day.